Spirit warriors, what if I told you that the final bell has rung, and you passed a divine test most people didn't even know they were taking? Have you ever felt like life was testing you in ways nobody else could see? As if your every choice, every heartbreak, every silent act of kindness was being graded by heaven itself? There once was a young woman named Nevaeh. She walked through life unnoticed, yet quietly carried the burdens of others. Her childhood was tough: abandonment, betrayal, loneliness. She never sought revenge, never gave in to bitterness. She smiled when she was empty, gave when she had little, forgave when it made no sense. One day, as she sat alone, weary from another storm, she whispered, "God, am I enough? Have I done what you asked of me?" That night she had a dream. A scroll floated down from the heavens with her name etched in gold, and stamped across it were 3 words that made her weep in joy. You passed everything. Chosen ones, you've been walking through divine fire, but here's the revelation. You already won. You passed the secret exam. The angels marked your paper with excellence before the world even saw your light. Heaven declares you are ready. But what exactly was this divine exam? What qualifies you as ready? Why do you feel so different from the people around you? As Rumi once said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. In this video, Spirit Warriors, we're unpacking the mystery of this hidden test, the 7 marks of divine success you didn't know you were hitting, and how heaven is now ushering you into the next level of your spiritual journey. So, buckle up, chosen ones. Stay with me until the end, because this is more than a message. It's a spiritual awakening. Point 1. You remained pure in the fire. When life turned up the heat, you didn't melt, you transformed. You didn't retaliate with venom or shrink into bitterness. Instead, you rose like a phoenix, stronger and more radiant than ever before. That's not mere toughness, that's spiritual royalty in motion. You stood still in the storm, not because it didn't hurt, but because you knew that the fire wasn't sent to destroy you. It was sent to reveal you. In ancient metallurgy, gold is placed into a crucible and subjected to fire that reaches temperatures over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Under that pressure, impurities rise to the surface and are skimmed away. What remains is the purest form of gold, brilliant, incorruptible. The same thing happens to the human spirit. Betrayal, grief, rejection, and delays are the flames life uses to burn off the unnecessary. The ego, the need for approval, the bitterness, all of it gets tested. And if you remain in faith, in truth, and in grace, what's left is your most powerful self. Science backs this up. Studies in post-traumatic growth show that people who go through adversity and reflect on it meaningfully are more likely to emerge with increased strength, deeper relationships, and a renewed sense of purpose. That's not just survival, that's refinement. While others drown in the pain or lash out to cope, you chose discernment over drama, peace over pettiness. You didn't let resentment rot your roots. You let the flames reshape you. And here's what's most astonishing. You didn't just protect your peace, you elevated it. You didn't build walls of cynicism. You built boundaries of wisdom. You remained open to love, still believed in kindness, still chose compassion. That's rare. In a world that glorifies clapping back, your silence spoke volumes. In a culture that rewards rage, your restraint became your revolution. When you chose prayer over payback, heaven took notice. But so did the watchers, the ones who underestimated you, who doubted your worth, who expected you to break. You didn't just survive, you flourished. And not because you had something to prove, but because you were being prepared. Every test was proof that you were already chosen. The fire didn't crown you, it confirmed you. This is your legacy, not one built on vengeance, but on virtue. You became gold in God's furnace. And now your glow isn't for show, it's a signal, a silent declaration that you've been through the fire and came out royalty, refined, not ruined, elevated, not erased. That's not just a comeback, that's a coronation. Point 2, you chose integrity over popularity. In a world obsessed with instant fame, viral moments, and quick success, staying authentic is like swimming upstream against a raging current. You could have taken shortcuts, posting flashy but empty content, faking enthusiasm, or chasing superficial validation just for the likes and follows. Many do, and some make it big fast, but often at a steep cost, losing themselves in the process. Yet you chose a different path. Even when no one was watching, when the spotlight was off and the applause was silent, you stayed true to your soul. That commitment to authenticity is not just admirable, it's rare. Integrity isn't just a buzzword. It's the backbone of lasting success and genuine fulfillment. Psychologists have found that living authentically, being honest with yourself and others, boosts mental health, reduces stress, and creates a deep sense of purpose. You may not have had the fastest rise or the biggest crowd, but your journey has been built on a foundation that can't be shaken. When you hold on to your true self, even in the toughest times, you're essentially building spiritual muscle. This is what heaven or the universe, whatever you believe, watches closely. Think of it like a cosmic exam. Everyone has their moment of truth when shortcuts tempt them and the easier path calls out. The key difference is who chooses to pass with honor. You passed with flying colors because you didn't compromise your light for temporary gain. That light is your inner truth, your values, your unique voice and energy. It's what makes you not just another face in the crowd, but a beacon for others. Your integrity is your real trophy, one that no one can steal or diminish. The applause you crave from the world pales in comparison to the quiet approval you get from within and from the higher forces that guide you. So while others may sparkle briefly on the surface, your light grows steadily, fueled by truth and authenticity. That's the kind of success that lasts forever. And guess what? You nailed it. Point 3, you loved without conditions. Even when they didn't deserve it, even when it hurt deeply, you chose to love anyway. That kind of love is rare. It's not just a feeling, but a divine act of grace flowing through you. In a world where people often respond to pain with anger or indifference, you dared to see beyond the flaws, mistakes, and shortcomings of others. You looked past the surface and embraced a higher, purer form of love, one that echoes the unconditional love God shows us. This love is powerful because it's not contingent on someone earning it or behaving perfectly. Psychologists call this unconditional positive regard, a concept developed by Carl Rogers, meaning you accept and support someone regardless of their faults. It's rare because most relationships, even close ones, are transactional. Love given with conditions attached. But you went beyond that, pouring from a divine well that doesn't run dry, even when the well could have been drained by disappointment or betrayal. When you love like this, you become a beacon of light in a world too often shadowed by judgment and criticism. Neuroscience research shows that acts of kindness and unconditional love actually stimulate the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, in both giver and receiver. This hormone creates feelings of trust, safety, and connection, making your love a healing force not only for others, but also for yourself. But let's be honest, loving when it hurts isn't easy. It requires strength and faith. It means holding on to hope that people can grow and change, even when their actions suggest otherwise. It's like passing a tough exam where every moment of grace you show is a question you answer correctly, even when the test seems impossible. And you earn a straight A+ every time you choose love over bitterness, forgiveness over resentment, compassion over judgment. This kind of love changes you. It refines your spirit and deepens your empathy. It's a rare and beautiful gift that only a heart connected to the divine can give. So when you love even those who don't deserve it, you aren't just being kind, you're fulfilling a higher purpose. You embody God's love on earth, and that is nothing short of miraculous. Point 4, you carried the weight. Others dropped, they ghosted, blamed, disappeared, but you kept showing up. Through every twist and turn, every disappointment and silent heartbreak, you remained steadfast. In a world where people often vanish when things get tough, your resilience stands out like a beacon. Whether it was for your family, strangers in need, or that deep, unshakable calling within your soul, you showed up, fully present, fully committed. That's no small feat. Psychologists tell us that consistent presence, especially in challenging times, builds trust and strengthens relationships, even when others falter. Yet, it's not just about the people around you, it's about the invisible weight you carried, that silent burden of responsibility of pushing forward despite feeling unseen and unappreciated is the mark of a true warrior. Neuroscience confirms that resilience isn't an inborn trait, but a skill developed through experience and choice. Each time you chose to show up, you rewired your brain to handle stress better, to persevere through adversity. God, the ultimate observer of your journey, sees all this. In the quiet moments when you felt alone, he noticed your strength. My warrior gets extra credit, he said. That's a powerful spiritual reminder that your efforts don't go unnoticed, even if the world misses them. The Bible often refers to those who persevere through trials as victorious, not because they never fall, but because they rise again and again. Your faith fuels your endurance, and your endurance fuels your faith, creating a cycle of spiritual empowerment. What's remarkable is how your persistence has ripple effects. By showing up consistently, you become a living example for others, a source of inspiration. The people who once doubted you now witness a quiet strength they can't ignore. And strangers, many find hope in your actions, even if you never know their names or faces. So yes, they may have ghosted, blamed, or disappeared, but you kept showing up. And in doing so, you carry the silent weight with grace and courage. This is your victory, your story of faith and endurance, and it's a story worth telling. Point 5, you asked for guidance instead of control. Letting go of control and leaning into divine timing is one of the most profound and often most challenging acts of faith a person can experience. In a world obsessed with planning, schedules, and immediate results, surrendering to the flow of life can feel like stepping off a cliff without a safety net. Yet this very surrender, this trust when nothing seems to make sense, is what distinguishes those who are spiritually awakened from those who remain stuck in confusion and fear. Divine timing isn't just a nice phrase. It's a concept deeply rooted in both ancient wisdom and modern psychology. Across cultures and religions, the idea that the universe or a higher power has a perfect schedule for everything is central. The Bible, for instance, says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven." This means that events unfold when they're meant to, not when we demand them to. When we try to force outcomes prematurely, we often encounter frustration, setbacks, or worse, burnout. Psychologically, letting go of control reduces anxiety and increases mental resilience. Studies have shown that people who accept uncertainty and embrace patience experience lower stress levels and better overall well-being. Surrender isn't about giving up. It's about recognizing the limits of our own power and trusting that the bigger picture is working behind the scenes. This trust is the essence of faith. When you surrender, you align with a deeper current of life. You stop resisting what is and instead flow with it. This doesn't mean passivity or laziness. Rather, it's an active choice to release the tight grip on outcomes and open yourself to possibilities beyond your understanding. It's the difference between a clenched fist and an open hand. One holds on too tightly and risks injury. The other is relaxed and ready to receive. Awakening happens in that sacred space of trust. It's where fear dissolves because you know you're not alone, even when things seem chaotic. You start to see challenges as divine lessons and delays as protective pauses. Divine timing teaches patience, humility, and deep faith. A faith that says, I don't see the whole picture, but I trust the one who does. So when life feels confusing or stalled, remember, letting go is not losing. It's the courage to trust the unseen. That trust is the hallmark of the awakened mind and heart, shining brightly amid life's uncertainties. Point 6. You spoke life even when surrounded by death. Negativity can often feel like a thick fog settling over every part of life, whether from toxic people, discouraging situations, or even self-doubt whispering in the background. Yet you made a powerful choice. Instead of joining the chorus of complaints and curses, you spoke blessings. This seemingly simple act is nothing short of transformative. Scientists and psychologists agree that the words we speak aren't just sounds. They shape our brain chemistry, influencing our mood, mindset, and even outcomes. Positive speech triggers the release of dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals that help us build resilience and stay motivated. Your tongue, which could have been wielded like a sword cutting down hope, became a wand, an instrument of creation and transformation. This isn't just poetic, it's practical. When you consistently declare blessings over yourself and your circumstances, you're essentially programming your brain to focus on possibilities rather than problems. Studies on neuroplasticity show that the brain adapts to repetitive thought patterns and language, meaning the words you speak can literally rewire your mental outlook toward hope and success. Instead of cursing your circumstances, you declared your deliverance. That's a radical act of faith and power. It's easy to blame external factors when things go wrong, but speaking deliverance is you taking ownership of your story and refusing to be defined by hardship. It's the difference between being a victim and being a victor. For example, consider individuals who face severe adversity, survivors, innovators, or spiritual leaders. They often credit the power of positive affirmations and declarations as part of their breakthrough. Your words created a ripple effect. Blessings spoken over situations don't just uplift you, they can inspire those around you, shifting collective energy from despair to hope. The tongue's creative power isn't mystical fiction, it's a scientifically backed reality that influences emotions, behaviors, and social dynamics. So when negativity was everywhere, your choice to speak blessings wasn't just an act of defiance, it was a masterclass in self-empowerment and transformation. In essence, your voice became your magic wand, turning obstacles into opportunities and despair into deliverance. It reminds us all, the language we choose is the foundation of the life we build. Point 7. You stayed awake while others slept. They partied while you prayed. They gossiped while you guarded your spirit. This contrast isn't just about choices, it's about the unseen work that shapes destiny. Life is full of distractions that pull people away from their true path, but you, chosen one, chose a different journey. Instead of chasing fleeting pleasures or getting caught up in drama, you invested your time in something far greater: growth, faith, and self-mastery. Scientific studies back this up. People who practice mindfulness, prayer, or meditation tend to have better emotional regulation and resilience. This inner work strengthens your spirit like muscles being trained for a marathon. While others may have been caught up in the moment, you were quietly building the foundation for a future that demands strength and clarity. When you guard your spirit, you're protecting your energy from negativity, like gossip, envy, and distractions that drain your focus. Psychologists call this emotional intelligence, the ability to manage your emotions and relationships thoughtfully. It's no coincidence that many great leaders, visionaries, and spiritual teachers emphasize the importance of protecting your inner world to fulfill your outer calling. Now, as you stand on the threshold of your destiny, this discipline sets you apart. Graduation into purpose isn't just a metaphor, it's a transition from wandering to walking with intention. Not everyone gets to enter their purpose with clean hands and a pure heart, because life's challenges can stain even the strongest wills. But you have maintained that purity through trials and triumphs alike. This purity is your power. It means you approach your destiny without the baggage of bitterness or regret. It means you are ready to serve, lead, and inspire from a place of integrity. This is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the ability to remain grounded while the world spins chaotically around you. So, celebrate this moment. You are not just graduating from a phase of life, you are stepping into a divine calling. The world may not understand your journey, but your spirit knows the truth. You've been shaped, refined, and prepared to walk boldly into your purpose with clean hands, a pure heart, and unstoppable faith. Heaven has evaluated your character, your soul, your intentions, not your image. And guess what? You scored 100%. This isn't ego. This is confirmation. You were never crazy, never too soft, never too deep. You were divinely designed to endure the secret curriculum only chosen ones receive. Spirit warriors, get ready. Your next level doesn't require more effort. It requires more awareness of who you are. God's honor roll, student. Watch until the end. Stay awake, stay aligned, stay anointed, because heaven has already spoken. You are ready.